A touch of sweetness. Chapter 2. Married just like that. 1 hour later, Vivian walked out of the Civil Affairs Bureau with the red marriage certificate clutched in her hands. She felt as though she was floating on air, as if everything had been nothing but a dream. Never had she ever thought that she would one day suddenly marry a man that she had only met by chance. Perhaps this is fate. Lowering her eyes, she gazed at the photo of them sitting side by side. The man's expression was blank, while hers evidently displayed her unease and reservations. Beneath that photo were both of their names. How absurd is it that I've only just come to learn of my new husband's name from a marriage certificate. Of all things, Finnick Norton. A simple but fitting name for a man like him. Vivian William. The man, Finnick, was also staring at his marriage certificate. He pronounced her name slowly, the low timbre of his voice causing it to roll off his tongue smoothly. The way he uttered it sent shivers running down her spine. She was still reeling from her change in marital status when a hand suddenly appeared right before her. A card was pinched between its 2 fingers. Miss William, I am aware that having a wedding and getting a wedding ring are some of the most anticipated events for a woman. Unfortunately, I am sorry to say that I don't have the time to deal with all that. If you do really like a ring, you can choose one yourself. Tilting her head backwards, Vivian met Finnick's unreadable gaze. There's no need for that. She hurriedly waved her hands in refusal at him. I don't care for such formalities. She was long past the age where she would care for such romantic gestures. More importantly, she did not want to feel like she had owed him anything, even though he was lawfully her husband. At the very least, get a ring. With that said, he grabbed her wrist as he stuffed his card into her hand. The moment their hands brushed against each other, the slight difference in their temperature sent a jolt rushing through Vivian. She was rather surprised by his warmth. Fine then. Since they were newlyweds, so to speak, she did not want to get into an argument with him over his good intentions. Hence, she accepted the card and kept it aside in her bag. I have a meeting in the afternoon, so I'll be leaving first. You'll have to find your own transport. His tone of voice was as neutral as ever. Okay. She had not held any hope that he would actually treat her like a real wife. Someone who he would love and spoil. That was why she was not disappointed at all that he was leaving her there. Abruptly remembering something, he spoke up again. By the way, I'll send you my home address later today. Just move in when it's convenient for you. They had exchanged their phone numbers earlier when they were getting their marriage certificates. I am not in any hurry, she quickly responded. Although it made sense that they would need to stay together after marrying, the truth was that she was simply not prepared to live under the same roof as a stranger just yet. Perhaps the rejection in her tone was too obvious. As Finnick soon lifted his head to glance at her, Vivian flushed a little, in embarrassment. However, he did not respond to that. All he did was push a button on his wheelchair to turn it in another direction. If there is nothing else, I'll be taking my leave now. All right. She waited for him to get into a black car before she soon took to depart as well. After that, she immediately called her company's human resource department. She told them that she was going to be registered in Sunshine City very soon. She heaved a deep sigh of relief once it was confirmed that they would apply for the local health insurance for both her and her family. While getting married today was quite a rash decision on her part, at the very least, she had finally managed to resolve the matter that had been plaguing her with worry for a while now. At last, she would not need to agonize over her mother's medical bills. Upon arriving at Glamour magazine, her workplace, Vivian found that the time for their afternoon interview had yet to arrive. Using her remaining free time, she headed over to the shopping mall next door to buy a pair of wedding rings with the card that Finnick had given her. Thereafter, she returned to her desk and sat down, planning on going through the information on this afternoon's interview one last time. Just then, Sarah slid her office chair over. Her eyes were gleaming as she asked, Vivian, what's up with the ring? Quite the observant one, aren't you? Vivian had no intention of hiding anything. After all, the Human Resource Department already knew that she had transferred her household register. Everyone in the company would soon come to know of her change in marital status. I've recently gotten married. Congratulations, Vivian. Sarah scrutinized the ring, commenting, did your husband gift you this? It's not a very big diamond, is it? How much did it cost? A little over 1,000. Vivian did not know anything about Finnick's financial background, so she had chosen a pair of the cheapest and simplest rings that she could find. Sarah's brows furrowed and she stated with a solemn expression on her face, Vivian, that simply won't do it all. A wedding ring is a symbol of your marriage. How dependable can a man be? If he want to even buy you a better ring. It's fine. He is just doing the best that he can. Vivian answered, noting the sympathetic look in the other woman's eyes. She realized that Sarah probably thought that her new husband was not very well off. That's enough. Let us not talk about this anymore. She swiftly changed the subject, unwilling to linger on it any longer. Are you ready for the interview later? Ha ha ha. Most definitely. Vivian's distraction tactic had been successful, as Sarah soon gestured towards her attire. Vivian, what do you think? Am I beautiful? It was only then Vivian noticed that her colleague was dressed in a pink and white skirt dress set. Her hair had also been styled carefully. You look amazing, Vivian complimented, tickled pink by her words of praise. Sarah's eyes soon lit up in delight. Then, do you suppose that I'll have a chance with the wealthy bachelor president of Finnick Group? Welcome to download Joyread app to read more chapters of A Touch of Sweetness novel online.